Oh, hi Mark, it's me Daniel, and in this video is separated by two parts. In the first one I'll teach you how to make this procedural granite material. In the second part I'll teach you how to use all of those materials. But before we start, let me remember that I have an Instagram account when I'm publishing all of my materials, Gumroad when I'm selling them, and Blender Market when you can find pro versions of them. So let's create a new file. Make sure that node Wrangler is on. Create new material. Add a Musgrave texture. Scale to 255, detail to 16, dimension 0.14, and press Ctrl T to make this happen. We don't need mapping node, just use generate vector. Then add a mix node, plug high into vector, colors are something like that. You can copy my settings of those colors. Then add a Voronoi texture. Make that little dot and plug into a vector. Then duplicate mix node. And of course we need to make a scale to 175. Plug color to vector and make those colors. Then mix all of those nodes, but also we need to add a color ramp node for factor. Color to factor of color ramp and make white a little bit low. Then plug it to a factor. And now we have something looking like granite, but to make it more realistic, let's make some movement. Choose Musgrave and Voronoi and copy them with Ctrl-Shift-D. We need to change their settings 10, 15, 0, and for Voronoi to 100, and yes, there it is. Then we need color ramp two color ramp nodes. In this one we need color. So now let's change colors of this color ramp. So copy the settings of colors. Combine those two color ramps. This color ramp we will choose to factor and take this color and plug it to first color. But this is not the end. Google hue saturation. So now let's make a rough map. Copy mix node, change colors to gray, then add math node and map range node. Those two nodes we need to control a rough map. But we need to change this one a little bit, 0.57, and this one 1.57. Map range to roughness. And now we have a pretty realistic granite material. But if we wanted to make more comfortable to use, then choose all of this, press Ctrl G, and now we have a group node. Add a vector math node, change it to scale, plug scale into this value for changing roughness map, then hue and saturation. We can also press N and change the names of our outputs and inputs. press tab to go out, and if you want to change the name of node group, press properties and change its name. So now we can control scale, roughness map, hue and saturation. We can also add a Fresnel and RGB curves to make a better roughness map. Multiply curves with a roughness map, and there you have it. A pretty cool granite material. Okay, now how to use a granite and mosaic pack. Imagine that this is your current workflow, and you need to apply a granite or mosaic pattern to this monkey. Press Ctrl 3 to make it smoother, and then choose Pro Granite, drag it into Blender file, click Append, Material, and choose all of them. Now we have materials in our workflow, and for example choose the most hard one, granite mosaic. Also you can add materials by pressing File, Append, and then Append files that you need. First of all, I want you to show granite that we already done, then granite black and white. This one consists of a classic granite material, but with a little bit color changes. And with standard tiles preset, I'll show you how it looks on plane. You can put this on the floor or on the wall in bathroom, or maybe on the street. Yes, on the street it will be really good. Oh, look, it looks like some kind of square in our town. So this is it. This is black and white granite. Those are pretty simple nodes that are understandable. This one is for a little bit color for a grid that is between our tiles. This is a mask that we use in Mix Shader. Then go to Granite Mosaic and Granite Mosaic Simple. Contain a mosaic node that I'll show you next. So Google mosaic inside Blender, make it a little bit thicker, choose a generate, plug it to vector, and let's see what it contains. So outputs are the main color that gives us all of those colors, a simple main color that gives us only big pieces. Then goes concrete color, a big pieces mask, a small pieces mask, then high map only for big pieces, and then a concrete high map. How we can change all of this? In W we are changing a dimension version of this texture. Big pieces scale, change a big pieces scale. Big pieces size changes their size. Small pieces scale, I think you understand what it doing. Then small pieces size change their size. Hue changes hue. Saturation, and value changes their brightness. And a little bit changes for concrete. Hue, saturation, now we can see hue, and brightness. Inside this node you can change big pieces and small pieces colors inside those color ramps. So now let's look at material setup. Scale is for changing scale. This color mix, mixing big pieces and concrete high, and multiplies it with a Fresnel node, and that's all makes our roughness map. Then we are using simple high, then invert it with a subtract and plug it into bump to make a fake displacement, or we can off bump node and choose displacement, plug it into displacement and displace it, but this works only in cycles. Go to cycles. Oh, we need a light. Change supported to experimental, make sure that you use GPU, then go to subdivision and make on adaptive subdivision, and in material settings make sure that in settings there is displacement and bump. There is already a small displacement, but to make it a little bit bigger, change this scale for 0.05, for example. I think this is a little bit too big, but now you understand what this is about. Of course, there is a lot of high maps that you can experiment with and make your own high maps. So let's quick look at Granite Mosaic Classic. It's almost the same like Granite Mosaic Simple, but with different settings. Let's use a displacement and a bump. So there it is. I hope you like this video. Press like, subscribe, and see you next time, comrade.